What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for September 23rd through September 29th, 2021. And for those of you who don't know, this morning Rockstar actually broke GTA Online with this event week as it was down for about 2 hours. But now it is currently back to normal with, of course, the brand new event week. So the current prize ride for this week is the Karen Previon. To get this car for free, you have to place top 5 in a Car Meet Series race for 4 days in a row. So not too terrible since it's only one race per day, but the 4-day in a row thing is honestly pretty annoying, as they are essentially making you get online for 4 consecutive days in a row if you want to get it, when not everyone has that time during the week to do that. But anyways, this car is primarily based on the Lexus SC400 and is currently the king of the coupes class for racing. It has a normal price of about 1.5 million and a trade price of about 1.1 million. So essentially a free $1 million DLC car that just came out about 2 weeks ago is honestly pretty cool. Now some of you may be a bit annoyed that now players can get this car for free. So remember that you can always take the one you originally purchased and sell it. You can see mine right here sells for about 900,000, but again this would depend on your upgrades and how much you paid for it originally. Now in terms of the test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Emperor Vector, the Futo GTX, and the Jester RR. Now in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Nagasaki Outlaw. Now this vehicle is primarily based on the Can-Am Maverick X3 Turbo. It has a normal price of about $1.2 million, which is absolutely ridiculous, and a trade price of about $951,000. So it's a pretty fun off-roader to mess around with, but basically it has no visual customization options, sadly, and is definitely not worth the $1 million in my opinion. So is the Outlaw worth attempting to win by spinning the lucky wheel over and over this week? Well, considering how much it normally costs, I think it's worth it if you actually want the Outlaw, but if you don't really care for it too much, I honestly wouldn't even bother. So starting off with the property discounts, we have 40% off the motorcycle clubhouses repeating from last week, as well as 40% off the upgrades and renovations for them as well. I'm sure most of you already own an MC clubhouse, but for those of you who don't, here's your second week, another chance of getting it. I highly recommend getting it. The motorcycle club business is a great way to earn passive income. And speaking of that business, we have 50% off select businesses for the MC. So those include the Coke Lockup and the Meth Lab as well, which are the ones we did not get last week. Moving on to the vehicle discounts, we have 40% off the Rampant Rocket. This thing is in the motorcycles class and is extremely slow for what it is. Looking at it, you'd think it would be a crazy fast straight line vehicle, but it's not. It's actually pretty slow, and you fall off as well when you hit certain things like a normal bike. Just not very great to drive at all. But you can store it in your MC clubhouse, and that's pretty much the only reason I still have mine, because I like the way it looks and it takes up a motorcycle spot in the MC clubhouse. Next up, we have 40% off the Vindicator, a pretty cool bike with a KERS boost. It actually has pretty insane acceleration when you combine that boost with a wheelie, but the bike itself handles pretty bad, plus it looks very strange as well. Definitely not a very good looking bike to look at least in my opinion. Moving on to the Seven San Andreas website, we have 30% off the Dominator ASP. So this car is in the muscle car class and is currently the king of that class. Plus it has really good customization as well, being a tuner DLC car, and I highly recommend getting it if you don't have it already. Next up, we have 50% off the RC Bandito, which is pretty insane, a half price Bandito, so I highly recommend getting it if you don't have it already, guys. It's a very fun vehicle to troll people in sessions, and of course you can use it in the Bandito time trials every week and easily get all your money back. Now as far as the login items, you can get this Nagasaki white and red hoodie for free just for logging in this week, which is pretty cool. In terms of the bonuses for this week, we have 2 times rep on pursuit races for this week. So for those of you who want to grind your LS Car Meet rep level even higher, now is a great time to do that. And linked above is a video my friend Edub and I made on the best routes for those races so that you can easily win most of them. In terms of triple money, we have triple money NRP on the Deadline Adversary mode, one of my favorite adversary modes in the game. It's just tons of fun to do with friends. And lastly, we have double money NRP on select MC businesses. Those include the Coke and Meth Lab, pretty much the two they did not give us last week. And to help with that, Rockstar also is giving 50% off on supplies for your MC businesses, which is pretty nice. Moving on to the Prime Gamer discounts for Prime Game members only. I will leave instructions in the pinned comment on how to become a Prime Game member if you aren't one already. So we have 65% off the Casco. So this car is in the Sports Classics class and isn't really all that quick. Plus it basically has no visual customization. There are definitely much better classic cars in the game, but this is actually a pretty decent price for this car, all things considering. Next up, we have 35% off the RT3000 from the Tuners DLC, so obviously based on the Honda S2000, just a very cool car with great customization. But in terms of performance, it's not really all that great. It's in the sports class, and even in the tuner races, it's just not very competitive, so keep that in mind. Also remember guys, you just fly game this week as a Prime Game member, you'll get a free $100,000 as usual. Again guys, if you will save a discount on the vehicles, I mention this because you don't have your Prime Gaming account linked to your social club. Again, all the information on how to do that is down below in the pinned comment. And lastly, well, of course, the RC Bandito Time Trial Cemetery. This week's normal time trial is LSIA. I highly recommend either the Emerus, Krieger, Pikachu Drag, Shotaro, or Batty 801 for that time trial. And this week's premium race is the Supercar Race Downtown Underground. I highly recommend either the Emerus, Krieger, S80RR, or Wagner for that race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week is pretty decent. It's definitely themed around bikes and motorcycles again for this week, kind of like a part 2. And the discounts were okay. I just wish we would have gotten more quantity wise. And the double money is decent, but I still don't understand why they didn't just do double money on all the businesses for 1 week instead of splitting it up into 2. Just kind of weird what they chose to do there. But anyways, at least we're headed in the right direction on double money businesses again. And hopefully we don't have any more issues with GTA Online next week when the next event week happens. I think Rockstar learned their lesson there. It was very weird how they broke it. It definitely had to do with the event week. Down for 2 hours, then they somehow fixed it and brought out the event week another hour later. So hopefully everything's okay, and I don't know why they keep removing more and more jobs. If you guys have noticed over the weeks, they keep removing a bunch of adversary modes and stuff and keeping only the ones that most players do, which I don't really agree with too much, but supposedly they're making room for more content, and if that's the case, so be it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.